Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and I'm on another walk in the wonderful English countryside on a snowy day. There's a car just coming up behind me. Just move out the way. Get back on the road, trying not to slip over. It's about 0 degrees centigrade and I'm in Shipley, and I'm just going to do a little circular walk, which is about 2 or 3 miles, not terribly far, but it's very lovely to get out in the countryside. And I'll try and show you some countryside. Sometimes, you know, I was accused the other day of, all we see is Richard's face and just walking to and from the camera. Well, depends which camera I'm using, depending on how much I can actually film. When I'm on the GoPro, it's very wide angle and it's very difficult to show you more than just everything very small, and the quality isn't terribly good. Anyway, enough excuses. We will crack on and see what we see in this bit. Shipley, I should say, is it's about 8 miles south of Horsham, just off the A24, near the West Grinstead, and where it crosses with the 272. So it's a fascinating area. I'm going to go northwards from Shipley and do a little circular walk. I'm walking in a field here. Now, in a previous video that I made at Shipley, I was looking at the windmills of Shipley. I'll try and remember to put a link down to it. But there was a windmill here, I believe, in this field. And if my memory serves me right, it was either this one or another one that a little girl was killed by the sail coming round, or the sweep as they call them in Sussex, bashing into her. So it was somewhere up there, which is a terrible story if true. I'm sure that probably happened, but you also hear stories in which people get on the sails and have a ride around, which is quite remarkable. I suppose one reason that I show and depict me walking, coming and going in the videos is to give perspective to the landscape, the size of an average man against the landscape. So, you know, I can take criticism to a certain degree, but also I always think if people really don't like the videos, then why do they continue to watch them? I'm going through a little pine woodland here, obviously planted probably about 80 odd years ago, I would think, by the size of these, perhaps maybe a bit younger, 60, because pine grows relatively fast, from what I understand. Evergreen, of course, not my favourite type of tree, because generally not a lot grows underneath the pine trees, but when they're spread out in the landscape, I think they can be quite picturesque. As you can see, it is quite barren behind there. Footpath carries on down this very lovely little tunnel, really, but the wind has suddenly increased quite dramatically, gusts of it, and the cold air is really burning off my ears. I'm not going to try not to let that deter me by any means. Came out just now, well, by an old farm here and another lovely house next to the pond that I've just passed, and I'm turning right here. It's interesting actually, although it's 0 degrees and there's a bit of a chill wind, the ground, while being frozen, is still quite soft, which actually surprised me. I was expecting it to be a lot more solid than it actually is. So, you know, what you think looks solid, suddenly your feet go straight down into a puddle, which is quite surprising. So now I think that the next part of my walk will take me veering off to the right and a little bit around Dragon's Green, and then I start to circle back to myself. Just coming up to a road now, which I shall cross, but before I do that, just in this field, there's some chickens, dead chickens, 3 dead chickens by this beautiful house behind me, and it looks like the fox has obviously got them, killed them and left them in the field. There's a cell mast up there for the old mobile phones and various things. So I've just come across the road and I'm walking out towards Dragon's Green. I can feel my lips freezing, but don't let that worry you. Walking along a nice little level track, so rather than going through the fields, which is rather good. And there's a big old estate just over there which it looked like a community playing field, but I'm not sure if it is. But this is rather picturesque here, and I've noticed all around this whole area, again, it's the same thing as I was talking about before. We've got the boundary marking banks which were dug and turned into field boundaries, and the wider ones, the estate boundaries. Definitely great indication of the boundaries here. These are in pristine condition, really, considering they probably go back to, I don't know, 1600s, and the whole banks are peppered with what looks like bluebells. You can see the shoots coming up. It's going to be absolutely a feast of colour, but it's so prominent. I love it. It's real history here. Well, I'm on the road heading south now, back from this is Dragon's Green now, and there's a postman. Look at this. VR, it says on it. Victoria. Post box, very old one, very lovely. So this is Dragon's Green, and I've just passed a house just back there that had the most gorgeous looking gypsy caravan. I don't know if you want one because it's up for sale. It looks absolutely remarkable. So yeah, just have a look online, I guess, see if it's available. Going past a big house here called the Gables. It's a tiny little place, sort of more of a hamlet than a village. And then what I do is I will cross the other road that I crossed before, and then start heading south on another footpath back down towards Shipley. So that's the plan here. Well, it's been a lovely walk. I'm just on the last bit now, so it won't take me a few moments to get back into Shipley and then to my van. I might make myself a nice cup of coffee. So that's been my walk for today. It's been very lovely. Slightly disappointed that there wasn't as much snow this side of the Downs than where I am in Worthing, but it does make the roads a little easier to navigate, so that's okay. It is actually warming up a little bit and the ground is thawing, so a nice time to stop really. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow, like and subscribe. Become a patron, give me a thumbs up. All the usual, support what I do and I'll keep making these videos and hopefully go further afield when the restrictions have been lifted. Till next time, thanks for watching. Bye bye. Bye bye.